confidence. Of course, give them a really clear plan to how to achieve the objectives, right? So we're going to do this, and this, and this is how we're going to do it, And I was really detailed in the practices, in a coaching point and stuff, really simple things, but rebuild little by little in the details, their confidence. And then, players, when they are good, then they deliver, which they did. They delivered so many good performance. And yes, it's on them.
So you mentioned your preparation. That's just something, again, I wanted to talk about. So what were the differences in your preparation between preparing for the league matches and then coming up against teams where that they have much bigger resources? So, for example, coming up against Arsenal, how do you prepare for a game like that? And is there any difference in approach, or is it just reinforcing the same rules that you always have?
Well, listen, prepare a game against Arsenal, and we didn't have much time.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Prepare games against this kind of teams, you need at least a normal week. But maybe you need 2 weeks to prepare that game. Because you will need to be perfect if you don't want to get killed, right? Yeah. So this was not our case, because we had just 1 day, 2 days to prepare the Europa League Cup, because we had a lot of games. But psychologically, it's easy, because players, when they play against teams like that, don't worry, they're gonna be focused. They're gonna give 100% to play. Tactically, well, there is preparation. There is a lot of videos. There is a lot of detail. There is a lot of maybe changing something in your idea of football. Because when we went to play to Emirates, we said, listen, if we are not organized defensively, that could be a really bad night for us, right? So we decide to play in a different way, to pay more attention on defending, be organized, retain the ball when was possible with quality. But the game was really, focus on be organized. And to be honest, the first half, and I think the majority of the game, beside the 7 minutes where Arsenal scored 3 goals, the players, they deliver. They were really good. They execute what we were asking. Because playing with Arsenal at Emirates, if you don't pay attention, it could be 7-0, 8-0, 10-0. You got to be really careful. So this is what we decide to do there. But in the opposite way, when we play in at the Viva with them, we decide to do the opposite. We said, okay, tonight we challenge them in the possession. We said, we want to keep the ball. We want to have split the possession with them. Let's see if we are good enough to do that. And this was the objective. And we prepared the game like that. And the team delivered, because the percentage was 48 us, 52 them % of possession. So like when you give objective to people and to a team and they deliver, this is what you're looking for. With Arsenal, with teams like that, you cannot think, okay, I'm going to win the game, I'm going to do this. No, in my opinion, you have to prepare some aspect, do well in the aspect that you prepare, because you're not going to win the game. Come on, it's not going to happen. You gotta be honest. How you can win a game like that? Has to happen something special. Maybe they got a red card, or I don't know, something. But in a regular game, you're gonna lose the game 99 times in 100, right? So just prepare something well, deliver something well, and do it.
Well, I remember that first half, the 44 minutes, like that first half, you were competing, and I remember it because my uncles were sending me messages going, Arsenal are struggling here, mate. They're struggling. So I think it was, you could see there was the game plan, and it worked well. I think that was, but yeah, I want to talk about your preparation, and then to again have to turn around so quickly and play in the league. Do you then have time to prepare for the next opposition, or is it again just repeating the same?
Well, in our journey, we didn't have time to prepare games. It was just 1 day preparation, sometimes 2, sometimes the majority of the time 1. In a normal season, Of course, you dedicate time to prepare the game. Like every game is the same. Of course, with a different opponent, but we are really focused on, we are methodically prepared. Like in our days, we know what we are doing, and everything is prepared. All months is prepared. We know what we're gonna do, and then we go to the field and we organize the training session. Everything is clear. The staff knows what to do. It's a plan. It's a plan that we have. Then you can change in the plan something, but you need to have the plan. You cannot go to the field and say, okay, today we're gonna work on build up, and what about tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe tomorrow we do some finishing. It's not like that, guys.
No.
It's everything methodically prepared, and to see the progression, the repetitions and stuff.
So I just wanted to ask a question from the player's point of view. So when you're about to face an opponent like Arsenal, do you notice that the players, they have it in the back of their head that they know they're not going to play? Do you think that it affects them psychologically as well? A lot?
Yeah, it does. It does, but make their focus more, how do you say in English? Their focus is more ferocious.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
You can see it. You can see it, that is everything more. You're not gonna tell them, okay, guys, we have to start strong. We have to be focused on it. No, it's not gonna be that. You have just to prepare them tactically, because the rest, their mind is there. When you play in the league and you are a team like Dundalk, sometimes the preparation is also psychological, because they can think that the opposition is weaker. So then could be a problem. So there is where you have to work psychologically a lot, to be really focused, ferocious,
And what kind of manager are you in the locker room? Are you very vocal? Do you tend to calm the situation down, pull out the whiteboard, or sometimes you get your emotions take over? I
do everything you said. I do everything. It depends the situation. It depends. Right. I can be really vocal, or I can be quiet. It depends how I feel. What is the atmosphere? When the players, they need support, or when the players, they need to be kicked in the ass, or it depends. But I am a coach that I like to develop players. I want to make them better, and making them better win games. So I'm really dedicated to my players, and this is, for me, is kind of a mission to make them better. You have to understand that in the 3 months that I was a coach, I had 2 players of the month. You understand? So Murray and Macmillan, they were players of the month. So I won. You understand me?
Yeah. I get what you mean.
I won because, the players was the best in the league. So, you did something good. This is coming from my background to develop players. I understand. But at the end, if Macmillan is the best player of the month of December, I don't remember. It's because he scored a lot of goals, and we won a trophy, and we won games. You understand? So there is a lot of, sometimes coaches, they are a little bit selfish, right? I am not like that. I work for them. They don't work for me. I work for them.
Nice. That's a very good way to put it. Rory and I are teachers. This is actually one thing that we can.
I like that a lot. But so talking about player development, another part of the game that really fascinates me, and you mentioned it earlier, that you did a bit of scouting. Now I've noticed that, like, in this transfer window so far, you've made a few signings, you've brought in a few players, and I've noticed with Dundalk, they've brought in a few players from like Lithuania and the kind of smaller leagues around Europe. How does the scouting process work, and how involved are you involved in that process as well, or does somebody approach you with players that they think fit the club?
Well, the scouting process, it's really big. I am really involved. Me and Giuseppe, my assistant, we do this personally. And then, of course, we take information from people that we know around Europe. And the idea was to scout. It was our opinion to scout players from North Europe and from East Europe, because we think that our players that are going to fit well in our system in Ireland, from character, from atmosphere, weather,
Weather. I was going to say the weather, definitely.
Everything. It's important. So we decide to do that. So we start to watch a lot of games of national teams of, I don't know, North Europe, East Europe, and we found many good players, and we were lucky that we could sign few of them.
Yeah, Rory spends a lot of time on Football Manager. He's really curious.
It's my favorite thing to do on Football Manager is like scouring random parts of the world for like 16-year-old talent. But
do you play Football Manager, Filippo?
No.
Have you ever played?
No.
All right.
It's like a busman's holiday, though, right? It's like you're at work and then you play more Football Manager. I don't know.
Yeah, but Ruairi, if you have some suggestion, tell me about players.
I have a short list. I can email it to you. Don't worry. I have a short list.
Let's go.
Perfect. Oh, this is like a dream. Perfect. Good. So, talking again about for Dundalk, what are the priorities in terms of the competition? Is it a priority first? Is it to progress in Europe and try and get the kind of the finances there, or is the priority to dominate at home and then see what happens in Europe?
The vision of Dundalk is to be, of course, the best and dominant team in Ireland, and be consistently present in Europe. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the idea. But in the same time, developing players, build a strong club, strong culture, strong academy, really important, to give space to produce players that they come from local academy or from Dundalk. So this is the objective. And then, of course, even sell players. Why not? You produce players and then you sell players, right? And win titles. So create a kind of, environment that is sustain itself. Okay, if it makes sense for you. I think the new director, Jim McGilton, he has this kind of vision. He's doing a great job, and we are working hard to build this kind of culture. Because one day I'm gonna leave, one day Jim is gonna leave, one day Pat Oban is gonna leave, one day Chris Shield is gonna leave. But the club should stay strong and have a culture for the new players and coaches and office, the people are gonna work in the office, etc. What is going to stay is Dundalk.
So. Yeah, of course. Well, exactly. Yeah. And is this because I think we can see now with the Irish national team, we're kind of covering a lot of national teams, but with the Irish national team, we could say that it's not a great period for the Irish national team at the moment. And there isn't a lot of, I think there's a few promising players coming through now, but can you see it around the league that a lot of clubs are starting to focus on their academies and get that grassroots movement trying to go?
I don't know what the other clubs are doing. I saw few players young players, young, start to move from the academy to professional teams or abroad. So I think something they start to do with the professional team here. We want to do that. I think that Stephen Kenny, the coach, he wants to implement something not new. I mean, it's not new. He wants to implement a different style of play, more international. It's not easy. It's not easy for him. They have to give him time. But I think he's gonna, if the federation give him time, he's gonna succeed. He's gonna succeed because I think he has good ideas. I saw what he wants to do. Of course, results didn't help him a little bit, but he was also a little bit unlucky, with some game. I watched it, but I think he's doing a great job. Just give the man the time. He's gonna do well.
Yeah, I think, when I saw they appointed him, I thought this is a very promising move. It wasn't just another kind of aging manager that's been around the world. I think it is a positive step. And I think hopefully, we'll see that kind of cycle of Irish talent start to come through. Because in the 2000s, we had such a great generation with Duff and Keane, and that was such a great team. I would love to be able to see that come through again.
It will. If you start to invest in the academy, in the youth, etc., it's going to come. It's going to come. But we have to keep going to do it.
Nice. So I was going to ask you a more general question. like footballers have their footballing idols. As a manager, do you have a manager that is to you sort of